As I see it, class warfare, the only resort to right-wing doom? It's worth it. How to talk to your right-wing relatives, friends, and neighbors, and other books written by Egberto Willis. Welcome to Politics Done Right. My name is Egberto Willis, your host. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning to the great state of Texas. Good morning to the United States of America. And of course, good morning to the entire world receiving our signals via the magic of El Internet, formerly known as the ARPANET. Created by whom again? Created by we the people. Folks, it's time. It's time that we are taking our country back. And you know, over the weekend, I wrote an article for our newsletter family titled, Don't Forget, We Are Winning. We are winning. I know sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but the good people, because they form the collective, are winning. But before we get started, let's move it on to the geniuses in El Estudio. We have El Señor Jack Van Bever and Howard Reynolds. How are my peeps doing this morning?
We're good today. I prefer to be called Igor, and Howard is Dr. Frank Cannon Stream.
Man, you guys are
Tin
missing it.
cans.
You know how much I have to remember, man. Now you're giving me something else to remember. Come on, guys.
Well,
Ah,
we gotta be true to the story of Frankenstein here.
well, that is
Yeah.
true. It is Monday morning at the radio, the 16th of February, 2026, and we have another fine show here. I want to send out a thank you to everyone who came to the Bearing remote. We did a remote live broadcast from Bearing Hardware. Sandy was the host of that one, Deadbeat, and also Michael Byrne was also with All Systems Go. Everything went smoothly. Met a lot of new people, a lot of good friends stopped by, and it was great. So thank you so much for coming out for that event. And I think we have Sandy on the line here. Let's find out. Sandy, are you there?
I hope so. I hope this is
It
working
seems
this
like you
morning.
are.
Folks, we're having a few problems streaming. It looks like the entire Pacifica network is stuck where streams are going. And we've got a call in, and hopefully we'll get that repaired before this broadcast is over with. However, good morning, folks. It's Monday morning, and as I said, something has to go wrong on Monday morning. Well, good, it's just the streams. Hope you're okay. And if you're in the car listening, drive carefully. It's Monday morning. We did have a great time at Bearing this weekend. It was a large crowd that showed up. A big thanks to Augie Bearing and the staff at Bearing Hardware for their hospitality. It was just such a fun time. And through that, and through the weekend, now starting the 5th day of our winter fund drive, we stand at $67,755. We're trying to raise $175,000 during this drive, and we're off to a great start, but we would love to hear from you. I don't know if it's the mechanics behind the wheels or the wheels that are powered by the mechanics of the gears or what, but it's been a little while since our last pledge came in. In fact, it was yesterday evening, and I suspect it has something to do with our our discount software, which we will have to. It's like a lawnmower. You wrap the cord around it and you pull real hard, and you try 3 or 4 times, and it finally starts. We're going to have to get after that this morning, but we would love to hear from you. Our number is 713-526-5738, option 1. And if the magic of the Arconnect fails, well, at kpft.org in the donate button, you could always call the number again, 713-526-5738, option 1. Trying to raise $500 on this show this morning. Get us going on the first Monday of this fund drive. And as I said, hopefully we'll get the streams back online here quickly. Thanks everybody that has donated for 368 kind acts of donations so far, powering the drive. In all, we expect about 1,100. Lots of room for you folks. Don't forget our crawfish boil, March 29th. Tickets are $75. It's a celebration of KPFT's 56th birthday, March 29th. Our birthday's March 1st, in case you were wondering, but the crawfish they take a little while to cook up. So, Egberto, good morning to you and to Jack and Howard.
They're still catching
Good.
the catfish.
Good morning, Sandy. It's great. Anyway, I'm going to be heading to the crawfish boil too because you know what? A kind, a one of our kind subscribers called me up and said, "Berto, you know, you and your wife will be at that fish boil, so therefore I am getting those things for." So I'm like, "No, no, no." He said, "I'm getting it. We're going to be there, so it's going to be fun out there, guys. It's going to be fun." But anyway, folks, today is Monday. Lots happening that we need to talk about. Good morning, Marnie, out of uh, let's see, out of where are you from, Marnie? Again, I can't remember, and you didn't post it right away. But anyway, well, Karen Bridges, Jane B is in the house from North Carolina. Cindy, how you doing? Willis Calwood, Anna Etzka, Joe Richard C. Brown, Joe from Los Angeles, California. We also have Faraver, Dolly, how you doing? Stephen Rosenweek, thank you for being here. And Lisa Blair, every day, twice a day from Atlanta, Georgia. So I got that right. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. But beforehand, let's do a check for Sandy. Sandy said a contribution hadn't come in since yesterday afternoon. That is not normal. So let's go ahead and see if we can rectify that and at the same time help us get to our goal by giving us a call at 713-526-5738, extension number 1, and do whatever you can. As Sandy said, we're really trying to get those sustainers, which mean $5 a month or $10 a month or something like that, whatever you can afford. But we need to get to $500 this morning. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about, folks. Specifically, I want to start out with an encouraging blog that I felt necessary to send out to our team. And who's our team? Everybody that's listening right now. All the folks on Substack, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, on air by on KPFT, the Houston metropolitan area, which also extends into Louisiana. We also talk to our folks on the different social media channels. So on everybody, we are a team. We form the collective that will ensure this country continues. But anyway, I wrote this piece titled "We Are Winning" and subtitle we survived the Civil War, a failed reconstruction, World War One, 1929, World War Two, McCarthyism, the Korean War, civil rights fight, Vietnam, and much more. We will survive Trump. Guess what? We are winning. You see, a lot of people feel a certain level of despair. Folks, you don't feel despair. You take what this country is all about and we take our country back. History does not bend toward justice on its own. People bend it. This nation endured a brutal civil war, stumbled through a sabotage reconstruction, weathered the Great Depression, defeated fascism abroad, confronted McCarthyite paranoia at home, and fought through the moral reckonings of Civil War and Vietnam. Each era felt existential. Each moment convinced many that democracy stood on its last breath. You hear us talking all of the times, oh my God, this is the end of democracy and all of that. You know, it's only the end of democracy if we let it happen. And yet, time and time again, ordinary people organized, resisted, voted, marched, litigated, unionized, educated, and rebuilt. The lesson is not naive optimism. I'm not naive. I am not naive. It is hard earned clarity. Authoritarian waves crest loudly. When they're coming down, it's loud, but break against sustained civic action. Minneapolis showed that. We have survived worse. We are surviving now. And despite the noise, despite the chaos, despite the cruelty designed to exhaust us, we are winning because the arc moves when? What happens? When people move. The ark moves when people move. Welcome aboard, John Wahat, LBW. Do you lie, Lynette? Thank you for being here. ISIS 2-month siege of Minneapolis is over. They killed two heroes, shot up many innocent Americans and immigrants, temporarily destroyed several local economies, and showed the worst side of MAGA sanctioned humanity led by Trump, Stephen Miller, and their puppets. But their guns and the unmitigated violence and inhumanity could not match the peaceful but resilient and persistent bravery of thousands of people of Minneapolis as together they ran those thugs out of town. Trump and his goons used LA, Chicago, and Portland as training ground, escalating progressively. Each time, the people learned the techniques to resist peacefully, preventing what Stephen Miller wanted most, the declaration of martial law. Minneapolis is the template. Peaceful but high volume resistance as grassroots organizations provide support for those in the background most aggrieved by inhumanity. But it's not over. It's not over. Those who put their bodies on the line are most important. Communication, organizations, and logistics as well are necessary. The Trump regime's trying to attack them all, but we resist. This week, I wrote two important pieces, in my humble opinion at least, one relatively short and the other relatively long. The first one, our contribution to the Nazis, and the other that links billionaires, ICE, people warehousing, and AI. Again, there's a link there, folks. There's a link that we have to be aware of. All of our major networks and institutions are acquiescing to Trump. For them, it is business over democracy. AVC paid him off for a statement Stephanopoulos made. CBS replaced their evening noon host with a more malleable one. They are also censoring from 60 Minutes to other programs as Barry Rice infers to their seasoned producers and journalists they can leave if they don't like it. Have a little typo there. Gallup, for business reasons, will no longer continue their presidential approval rating tracking poll. Bezos laid off 30% of the Washington Post and forces the editorial pages to write just uplifting stories on capitalism, etc. The goal? Keep us uninformed and indoctrinated. Keep us uninformed and indoctrinated. But guess what? That is not who we are. We slip up at times. We get lazy at times. We are human. But Taylor Remett's win in Fort Worth, Chastity Verret Martinez's win in a Trump district in Louisiana, and many other similar wins throughout the country makes it clear that we are winning. But here's the thing. A cornered, rabid dog is at its most dangerous. So things are likely to get worse before they get better. We are looking at decades long recovery these thugs destroyed in less than a year. We must first stay strong like Minnesota and win. We must forgive the gullible as we will need them, but it is imperative that we prosecute to the full extent of the law those that have been treasonous to all that this country has been becoming. So, folks, it's important. It's important for us not to lose hope. It is important for us not to sit back and give them plausibility. It is important. After I jump back to Sandy, I have a piece I want to play from a little snippet from Chuck Schumer on yesterday's morning news that shows what we cannot be.
And Sandy.
That shows what we cannot be if we intend to keep our democracy. You know, a democracy requires, it doesn't stand on its own. It requires support and fight. We'll talk about that after we bring in Sandy for a pitch here. Sandy!
Thank you, Egberto. And again, good morning, everybody. Monday morning, the first Monday of our winter fun drive. And we would love to break the ice with a single pledge. If one of you out there could just spare a few dollars, a cup of coffee, as Egberto likes to put it, or maybe a cup of coffee a month, join us as a $5 sustainer and make that first pledge this morning. That would be meaningful. It would do a couple things. It would test our discounted software and also get us off the zero for this Monday morning. That's the last place you want to be. Many of you are getting up right now and you're thinking, oh man, we got that Monday morning meeting at the office and the boss will outline the whole thing, and so the week starts over. It's also President's Day, so the traffic should be light, and hey, you can at least enjoy that aspect of your working Monday. Here at Pacifica, here at KPFT, we try to enjoy every day as the days blend together and this hardworking staff tries to raise this money. You can make it so much easier on all of us with your action, with your contribution. Those of you that are the vast majority of our listeners that don't take action, well, you're making it so that you're dependent on everyone else all around you to take care of things for you so that KPFT can continue, and you turn the radio on in the morning and boom, there's Egberto, there's Amy, there's conversations. It's all right there. There's Arnie Arneson. But there's no guarantee of any of it. You know, it's just like Egberto's talking about with our democracy. We all have to be aware and we all have to participate for things to work the way they're intended to work. Same is true with community radio. When everybody gets together and does just a little bit, just your part, and I can't tell you what your part is. That's something only you know. Some people give a tremendous amount of money. Others give a few dollars a month. But everybody giving, again, you're doing so much more than those sitting on the couch, those that with their backs up against the wall with their hands in their pockets. Somebody else will take care of it. No guarantees on anything, anywhere, anytime for where it comes to survival of things that you love. And that includes those businesses, those radio stations, those restaurants, even the people around you. You have to take care of what you listen to and what you love. So I'm asking you this morning, $500 goal, a Politics Done Right t-shirt, or our vintage 1980s t-shirt with the galaxy pictured and a tiny little arrow pointing to a tiny little speck on the front of that shirt that says, "You are here." Well, you are here. You're listening. And if you are here with us, then you know the reason for radio is Pacifica. And that's what the tagline on that shirt says. That's a $100 donation. Comes in cobalt blue or black. Pick up one of those. In fact, 5 of you wearing that around and meeting up on aisle 4 in the supermarket. And Egberto makes his goal this morning. And you all have something to talk about there on aisle 4 while you're staring at the boxes of cereal. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. Wouldn't that be nice to meet up with 4 other people wearing the same t-shirt on the cereal aisle? I know it would be for me because normally I would just be staring at the shelf way too long. That's a whole food group and you got to make your decisions. The idea of seeing those t-shirts and get your mind off that. See how it all works? You support Pacifica, and on aisle 4, your mind is eased. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. Egberto, it's Monday morning. What you got?
Thank you for that, Sandy. Thank you for that. And Sandy's so right. You know, I remember I was in Pittsburgh and
Clear, Sandy.
At the Netroots convention, and this lady and her daughter walked up to me. I think one of them had on the Politics and Right T-shirt, and she just out of the blue, I'm walking down the street from the convention center to the hotel, and she said, "You're Egberto," because she heard me talking to somebody else. Said I recognize that voice, and I saw them, and I tell you the excitement that I got out of seeing that. It was like, wow, yeah, coffee, man, coffee. Anyway, yes, again, T-shirt if you can, if you have the ability to do so. As Sandy would say, we have both the KPFT T-shirt or the Politics Done Right T-shirt with the KPFT insignia on it. Anyway, LBW is in the house. La profesora está aquí. Thank you very much for that. Joe says she's trying to get to the website, couldn't get to the website. She wants to get one of those retro T-shirts. Well, keep trying, beautiful Joe. Please keep trying. Let it move. Welcome aboard, as well as CL Green. Let's see. Marnie says I saw where some kid in Australia said we should call protesters whenever ice goes lava. Local and very angry because lava means I've thought that idea. That is interesting thought, my dear brother. Lynette is in the house as well, our beautiful Lynette. I call Lynette our entire chat's greeter. Thank you for what you do, Lynette. Linda Ball is also in the house. And Astadian is here. Astadian, welcome aboard. All right. I said I had a special piece for you from this from the morning shows. It's getting harder and harder to listen to the morning shows because I remember there was a time I could go listen to the morning shows and I could pick up about 4 or 5 stories to enhance on each of the morning shows, and it'll be stuff to provide for the entire week. Now, so much of it is so useless because it's almost like a well, let's see the kind of performance that we get there, and then we'll be right back, my brothers and sisters. Today I found it extremely distressing that Chuck Schumer, the head of the Senate for the Democrats, decided to use statements like, with regards to the government or what they're requesting of ICE, meaning no masks, body cameras, humane treatment of people, not breaking into people's homes. Do you know that Chuck Schumer called that we propose? Do you understand why Democrats pretty much lose when they have a winning hand? I want you to check this out.
Democrats and that, quote, I know what they want, I know what they can live with, unquote. Are you willing to accept anything less than the White House agreeing to all 10 of your demands to rein in ICE and fire Secretary Noem, or is it all or nothing?
Look, the bottom line is we have 3 basic objectives to rein in ICE and end the violence. First, no more of these roving patrols. You can't just go to someone's house, bash in their door without a warrant. You can't indiscriminately grab someone off the streets and arrest them. What we're proposing is that stop. We're also proposing that ICE agents can't go to certain special places, churches, schools, polling places. We're saying that they should end racial discrimination and not just pick someone up on the basis of what they look like. And we are proposing that the ICE be monitored carefully as well. The second area is accountability.
Right after 60 Minutes today, there was a town hall with the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore. And he got a question that said, what would you do differently, or what would the Democrats really need to do? Who is the leader of the Democrats? And in the narrative, Wes Moore said something that Chuck Schumer needs to take into account. Because Chuck Schumer should have said, we demand all those things, not we propose. It is we demand. Wes Moore came out and Wes Moore said, the problems with Democrats is they know the problems. You tell them what the problems are, and you know what they do? They say, yes, we get it. We're listening to you. We hear you. We're going to establish a study to see what's happening there. Oh, yes, we know we have a healthcare problem. We'll establish a study to see how. And what he said was so apropos. He said, we have to just start doing. And then Wes Moore said something that's going to hurt a lot of progressives and establishment Democrats alike, and to some extent independents. He said, who knows that what you have to do is act quickly, not irresponsibly, but act quickly? Donald Trump. He goes ahead, whether he's following the law or not. He goes ahead and does what he wants to do. And people kind of admire, even if you're not accomplishing that what is right, that you do something. So Chuck Schumer and the Democrats, the problem now is that Republicans think that they'll cave, they won't stand up for all the things that they want, which is what people are wanting folks to do now, stand up. So no Chuck Schumer, it's not about asking, it's not about proposing, it's about demanding. But I tell you, it's a bit deeper than that as well. All this weekend, we should have Democrats and progressive campaigning and all over the country, not just the state, but over the country, pointing out that Americans are being killed by ICE. Americans are being roughed up by ICE. Americans are being brutalized by ICE. We have so much video, we have so much data to show visually, so much data for to present or verbally. We have so much audio, video, everything to show that these guys are terrorizing our country, that it's affecting business. The We should be out there pointing out that what ICE is doing is affecting businesses, whether businesses are Republican or Democratic. What ICE is doing right now is affecting the farmers in the field, whether Democrat or Republican. We should have a campaign that shows ICE's disruption is not only disrupting the lives of those brown people, it's not only disrupting the lives of those black people, it is also disrupting the lives of the farmers who can't get their crops. It's also disrupting the lives of businesses that have to remain closed, businesses that are losing business from the millions of even undocumented workers that are scared to go out there and shop, and that has an economic value. Come on, Democrats, wake up. Where are you? We should be out there screaming what this thing has done. Viva Minnesota. Viva Minneapolis. They showed how it is done and they got results. This is what the establishment need to do. Listen to what the progressives have done in Minnesota and propagate that throughout the country. Absolutely so. Absolutely so. Anyhow, let's see. Richard C. Brown said, "Write radio call letters on so I can subscribe through the net." Okay, let me just put it in the chat, buddy. It is. I'll put the whole thing. HTTP colon slash slash kpft dot org. That's it right there. I just put that in the chat because, hey, thank you for saying that because I'm at a big zero. We are 28 minutes into the show. I'm at a zero and I need to do $500. And you see that other guy that's been answering the phone? That guy named that answering the phone, pitching with me. That guy named Sandy. That's the manager of the station, and Sandy gonna kick me off if we don't keep making these quotas, my friends. I mean, he's kind of nice sometimes, but hey, what can I say? 713-526-5738. Let's go to Joni. Come on in, Joni. I think that line is hot. Line number 5, maybe. Here we go.
I'm Joni's other.
Okay.
Brother from another
Johnny.
mother.
Hey, Johnny, how you doing?
Better. Migraine is disappearing thanks to my newly found discovery. So, 2 words for Chuck Schumer. Chuck, you remember what Donnie used to do all the time in that make-believe business show of his, where they propped him up like a real businessman? He used to say,
fired.
"You're fired. You're fired, Chuck. Chuck, you suck." Ooh, that sounds like a poem I need to get on. All right, have a good day.
Thank you, Johnny. Johnny had to say it that way, man. Johnny had to say it that way. Anyhow, folks, I have another big story to go through, but since I have a call, Jimmy's on the line, and after Jimmy, I have another story, and this one is big. Let's go ahead and go to brother Jimmy. How you doing, Jimmy? It was great seeing you over the weekend at our HPJC meeting, buddy. How you doing? And by the way, that stands for
Virgil.
Houston Peace and Justice Center. Go ahead.
nobody's mentioned that today is President's Day. I think we could have a little bit of discussion about our favorite president. I loved Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He had to fight the Depression and World War II. I think he also brought us Social Security. And also Lincoln, he had to fight the Civil War, and he ended slavery. So we need to think about President's Day today, which I believe is a national holiday. And we needed to. I saw that interview too with the governor of Maryland, and we need to demand that ICE be shut down. We need to stop funding ICE. It needs to go away. Germany had their Nazis. We have our ICE. It's a horrible organization, and it needs to be completely shut down.
Thank you for that, Jimmy. Anything else you want to add, my brother?
Did you get my donation Friday? I didn't hear anybody mention it yet.
Okay, let me. I think is Sandy on the line because maybe it had to go through some checks. I'm not sure, so let me. I'm gonna. Sandy's gonna tell us when he gets back from drinking his coffee. All right, Jimmy.
Sure. Yeah,
Thank
keep
you,
up your good work and see. You might see who the favorite presidents were. Of course, I love JFK also.
One of my favorite. Look, let me tell you something, Jimmy, and people are. I hope people don't laugh too much when I say this, right? You know how effective Roosevelt was. He was one of the most effective presidents in passing a lot of social programs, albeit there were some problems in how it went out. We also have Johnson, who actually got a lot done. In fact, to many, he's the one who lost the South to the Republican Party, but he did and accomplished quite a bit. Vietnam being the eyesore for him. But I'm going to tell you, and please, people, don't slap me for saying this neoliberal actually did good. Let's.
Yeah, LBJ got the Civil Rights Bill passed and the Voting Rights Bill passed. JFK said, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country."
Right. But let me tell you, just very recently, we had a president that I think is only second to Roosevelt in the accomplishment, albeit it lasted for a year and change. And believe it or not, that was Joe Biden. And I don't like Joe Biden, and I don't like neoliberalism, but he got more progressive policies passed than any president since Roosevelt. Yes, Obama got Obamacare, but Obamacare was a gift to insurance companies, even as it helped the people. At least it helped the people. But when you look at
Biden knew how to work across the aisle.
He
worked
knew how
with
to work.
Republicans and Democrats.
And the people that stunt Biden wasn't Democrats. I mean, wasn't Republicans. It were Democrats. Sinema and the senator from West Virginia. I want people to understand that. I mean, I'm an equal opportunity offender, but a truth teller as well. I wasn't a Biden fan, but Biden came through when he first did his first few bills, and he came through big for the progressives. Just take that and smoke it, guys. Now, there are a lot of people that are going to send me swords because he also supported the genocide in Israel, and they're going to say he also supported a couple of other things. Perfection is not there, but I just thought Mansion, thank you for that, Le Deneuve. So anyway, thank you so kindly, Jimmy, and thank you for your look, folks. Before Jimmy leaves, Jimmy is a huge contributor to this station, and Jimmy is a great supporter of politics done right. So when we had our Houston Peace and Justice Center meeting this weekend, I had to give him a big ear hug in front of everybody.
That was nice. Yeah, I enjoyed that, Jeff. That was nice group. I'm also trying to work to modify solitary confinement in Texas prisons. It's a form of torture. It needs to go away. It needs to be reformed. To limited it to 15 days, not 5, 10 years, 5 or 10 or 20  20 or 20 years, 20 or 20 years 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 20
Well, you've been working on that at a long time, and in fact, like I mentioned to you on Saturday, your the press release from Houston Peace and Justice Center was written by you, and it's on our Houston Peace and Justice Center website for all to see. Man, you worked on quite folks. This guy also worked. He was on the Phil Donahue show, and he worked with paddling. Stop kids from being paddled. He also worked on a lot of stuff with the with criminality here in Texas and abroad. Thank you, Jimmy. We'll talk later. All right.
Thank you, Alberto. Keep up the good work on KVFT.
Thank you, brother. Peace. We have a lot of great activists in the house. We also, who just came in, Who the Kid. We also have Cheryl Elkins. How you doing, beautiful? Cheryl is a great activist out there and contributor to both KPFT directly and Politics Done Right specifically. We also have Glenn Reeves. Thank you for being here. Uh, we couldn't do any of this. LBW La Profesora is in the house. Love me, my teachers, man. You guys make hey, LVW, a quick story. I was in HEB yesterday, and I was picking the bolillo bread up, right? And this lady said, "Is it fresh?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." The lady, I just spoke to her, and she said she just put them out, and that was in the afternoon. And she said she had a University of Texas Tyler on, and I didn't see the Tyler. I just thought it was UT. So I said, "Hey, how you doing? I mean, so you went to UT? I'm a Longhorn." She said, "Ah, I went to Tyler." I said, "Oh, okay, cool. We're same family." Then I said, "Oh, so you're still in school?" She said, "No, that's my kid who's in school now." And then she said, "But I am going back to school to get certified to be a teacher." And then I started LVW, like what I did. I started telling her how important that job was, and thank you for, she's a little bit older now. Thank you for going in. We need good people teaching our kids and all of that. It made her day. It made her day that somebody was thinking about that. Folks, we are still at zero. Let me, before I go to Patrick. I'm coming to you, Patrick. Let's bring. Oh, we did get one. Got a small one from League City. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate you coming in with our first donation of the morning, folks. We need about 24 more of what our brother just did. There. So please give us a call, 713-526-5738. Patrick, I'm coming to you. Let me run to Sandy first, and then we'll be right back. Sandy, how you doing, my brother?
I'm still doing okay, but it's still Monday morning, and yes, our donation line is working and the website is working too. So some things are working this morning, even if the streaming is apparently still down. We're continuing to work on that. Our phone number is 713-526-5738. Option 1 to donate, option 2 to join in on Politics Done Right this morning, or kpft.org and click donate. We will be 56 years old on March 1st. So in a couple of weeks, hey, we turn 56, starting to look for the fountain of middle age around KPFT, but it's all right. Bob Weir had this plan for Grateful Dead music, something like it should endure for 300 years. Well, I might agree with that, you might not, but one thing we may agree on is KPFT needs to endure for 300 years, or at least for 3 more months. And that's what we do when we gather up the funds during a fund drive. We cut our summer fund drive down, our summer sizzle, we cut it off because we have sustainers in our universe now. We have people out there. In fact, about half of our membership contributes monthly on a regular basis, a sustaining basis. No need to do anything in terms of making contributions if you're a sustainer. At the end of the year, you just keep going. Unless, of course, you call up and say, "Hey, I can't do this anymore," for whatever reason that you might have, and we stop the sustaining membership. It's that easy. But in the meantime, the funds come in regularly, and we can count on those funds. We've accomplished so much in the last year as a result of having sustainers and, of course, our other contributors, including we have a new surface on our parking lot. We took away a very dangerous surface full of holes and rocks and collecting water and standing water and all kinds of things you don't want on your driveway or parking lot. We were able to remedy that. We've begun our studio to transmitter link project, and in a couple of months I hope that we'll have our microwave link working and eliminate the ARCANET to get our signal from the studio to the transmitter, which is troublesome. Goes up and down way too much. So we're making progress. And when we can plan, when we know the money's coming in monthly, we can do so much more because there's so much more to do at community radio. My mission as manager is to ensure that when I leave this seat, that this station is passed along to the next responsible parties in good condition and operating well, so that community radio can flourish and voices like Egberto and everybody else that you hear will be there in the future. And it may not be Egberto, it may be someone else. I'm not saying we're taking you off Egberto, make a note, not at all. I'm just saying that the future's wide open. The next Larry Winters, the next Ray Hill, the next Obadike Kamau, the next people to step up and occupy the microphones at KPFT and deliver their message, their music, their news, their views are sitting out there. And when they're ready to come and do that, if KPFT is alive and well, they'll have a place to come and do it. So what we're doing today is collecting funds for the future. Will you join us in ensuring the existence of KPFT and free speech radio over Houston for many years to come? Now more than ever is when we need free speech radio, free speech media. And I think somewhere, someplace in the existing portions of the White House, not that left in rubble on the ground, there's probably a meeting going on right now trying to figure out how we eliminate these voices. They're so troublesome and they're causing us problems with our agenda. Well, okay. So what? That's America. 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. Folks, we need you. We really do. So join as a sustainer, $5 or $10 a month. It makes a huge difference in the world of Pacifica, in the world of KPFT, in the world of our volunteers. So just consider that this morning, this Monday morning, the 5th day of our winter fund drive, and we have a long way to go. Egberto, to you. Thank you.
Thank you so kindly. I have to give a big thank you to Helen out of Sugar Land, Texas. Thank you so kindly.
Later, Sandy.
She said, I enjoy listening, learning, and getting to know what's happening. Thank you, beautiful Helen. We also have Joanna, mi hermana de Los Angeles, California. Just went ahead and I think you got your t-shirt, Joanna. Thank you so kindly, beautiful. Thank you so kindly. Let's bring Brother Patrick into the. I haven't heard from Patrick on KPFT. We hear from him on the 3 o'clock show. Come on in, Patrick. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing good. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, sir. Talk to me.
Yeah, I need you to do me a favor and make sure that Sandy knows that we got four tickets in your name for the crawfish boil. I'm looking forward to introducing my girlfriend to your wife.
Well, that will do. So, folks, yeah, Sandy, I know you heard that. 4 coffee boil tickets as a contribution by our one and only Patrick, and we are going to have us a great time at the fish boil, crawfish boil. Hear me, fish boil, crawfish boil. Yeah, we'll be there, brother. How is it going, sir? What's up?
It's doing good. I'm trying to talk my brother into going, so if my brother will go, I'll get to introduce you to him as well. I wanted to bring up a study that they did with parrots. We've talked about how dogs, that when they're injured, that the pack will hunt for the injured dogs, and we kind of, as progressives, we wish that we would all do that for each other. But what's interesting about parrots is recently they did a study where they taught parrots the value of currency, and they were able to trade coins in for food. And what they did was they put 2 parrots next to each other in adjoining cages, and they gave one parrot a whole bunch of coins, and they starved the other one. And the one with all the coins started helping the one without the coins, and started giving coins to the other parrot that didn't have any. Which I would wish the rest of us would have that kind of attitude too. But I guess what that means is that if I were to say that somebody that doesn't understand the value of progressive policies or socialism, that calling them a bird brain would be too generous.
Actually, you know what? If I understand the study that you're telling me, what it's saying is something that we talk all about. Inherently, uh, well, a parrot isn't a mammal, but inherently people are good, and it is the external forces that actually turn folk bad. Tell me if you kind of got some sort of inference of that out of the story.
Oh, I agree 100%.
And if that's
We
the
have to be
case, then
convinced not to help each other.
right. And if that's the case, folks, what we have to do is deprogram it. And for those who give me a hard time when I say I got to talk to everybody, I got to talk to everybody. That stuff that he just spoke about, that brother Patrick just spoke about, is so important. We have to encourage folks into the fold and not let the fear tactics that the other side uses to turn them into racists, to turn them into misogynists, to turn them into sexist and xenophobics or whatever you call them. That is what we got to do. But anyway, thank you for that, Patrick. I have another story that I have to come up with, and also we need to ask our folk to give us a call at 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate. We have three wonderful donors right now for the morning. Johnny, thank you so kindly. Joanna, thank you so kindly. And Helen, thank you so kindly. We got from Sugarland, Texas, League City, Texas, and Santa Monica, California. Now we need from all over. Put it this way, I'm about a coffee with Egberto, which is $250, and a what? A coffee and a membership short. So if we get that, that would be great. If we get that, that would be great. Give us a call, 713-526-5738. Let me tell you something. Last night, I'm writing the show, and I get a text from one of our great activists out of Indivisible, Kingwood. And she sent me an article, and the article said, the article was titled, ICE is expanding across the U.S. at breakneck speed. Here's where it's going next. And she sent all this info. I want to give a big thank you to John, another new member. Thank you so kindly for your contribution. We have two new members, two existing. Love you all, man. Y'all are gonna make us continue to fly, guys. We're still short another what is it, $100 bill of Benjamin and a half of a Benjamin, or a little bit more than that, and we'll be right there. Anyway, folks, here's the thing. So I kind of text back to her. Hi for I text back to her saying, "Hey guy, make sure that article is really accurate, right? I really want when I want to build trust, and I don't just want to throw out stuff there that people say about ICE or whatever. I want to make sure it's correct." So she went ahead and found out who the author of the piece was and their experimentation, and this article is solid, right? ICE is building out all over the country. So while they go ahead and tell Minnesota we're going, they're building out all the country. I want to read the first couple of paragraphs and the one that pertains specifically to Houston, San Antonio, and other places. But it said this. Federal records obtained by Wired show that over the past several months, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and the Department of Homeland Security have carried out a secret campaign to expand ICE's physical presence across the U.S. Documents show that more than 150 leases and office expansions have or would place new facilities in nearly every state, many of them in or just outside of the country's largest metropolitan areas. They're coming at us, metro areas. In many cases, these facilities, which are to be used by street level agents and ICE attorneys, are located near elementary schools, medical offices, places of worship, and other sensitive locations. In El Paso, Texas, for example, the agency is moving into a large campus of buildings right off Interstate 10 near multiple local health providers and other businesses. You know why they're going there. We also have in California, in Irvine, California, ICE is moving into offices located next to child care agency. Wow, we're going to have these thugs with guns near children again. In New York, ICE is moving into offices on Long Island near a passport center. In a wealthy community near Houston, Texas, ICE appears poised to move into an office building blocks away from a preschool. And let me tell you where that is specifically. I think I highlighted in the article because it's a very long article. If you, it says, as of January, hear this, guys. For those that are listening in Texas, in the Houston area, as of January, ICE's expansion is heavily concentrated in a few key states. Texas has at least 9 leasing projects underway. In Harlingen, located near the U.S. border with Mexico, a lease has been awarded at 2022 East Van Buren in the same building as City Department of Labor Align Post. In the Woodlands, that is about 20 miles from here. In the Woodlands, a district near Houston, ICE appears poised to move into an office building at 1780 Hughes Landing Boulevard, blocks away from a Primrose Preschool. In El Paso, ICE is moving into the epicenter office community, a large campus of buildings right off Interstate 10 near many local health providers and other businesses. What I'm going to do is put this article into the chat, and I am going to run to speak to John. I think did that just come in? No, I said thank you to John out of Covington. No, I didn't. John out of Covington, Georgia. Thank you so kindly for your contribution. New contributor and also a new member of Pacifica Network. That is the link in the chat, folks, that I just put in there to the story. It's a very long story. Don't have the time to read it online. Bruce, come on in. Línea número uno.
Yeah, hello, Alberto.
Yes,
Alberto,
Bruce, talk to
can you
me.
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I'll be very fast. The previous caller talking about parrots and dogs confirmed what we already believed. That ethically and morally, Donald Trump is less than an animal. I'm done. Bye.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Let me just say, Cheryl Elkin says, we need to go in front of our zoning boards and demand that zoning rules be clarified to not allow DHS and its subordinate agencies to use warehouse and commercial space for concentration camps. You nailed it, sister. You nailed it. We need to do, and that's where, they're doing that. Rachel Maddow did a piece a few ago where they nailed that, where she pointed out that all these places, including in red states, have said nope. Nope, we don't want that at all. We don't want that at all. Anyway, folks, we are still short. I need a couple more good donations. Give us a call, 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Remember, this isn't for me. This is for the station. 713-526-5738, extensión número 1. Extensión número 1. We have a call. Let's see. Is that bring it in. Brian, come on in. You're on.
Yeah, Egberto, it's me, Brian. You remember me?
Of course I remember you. You're my brother. What's up? Talk to me.
Yeah, why don't you tell people that's on the air why you kicked me off for my freedom of speech over a donation?
Oh my God! Why, sir? That is actually not true at
It's
all.
absurd, right? It's absurd, right?
Sir,
It's
stop.
absurd, right?
Stop, Brian, please. I want to make this clear.
Yeah, anyone that opposes you, you shut them off after 30 seconds, correct?
I have never, ever stopped you from being on the show. But notice you're on here. Let me just say this, okay? People that are listening, I let everybody come on to the air that comes on. I want to point out that even somebody that will come on and lie on air, and I still have him on because I want to make sure that he doesn't think I'm kicking him off for coming in here and lying about what he said. No, that's not true at all. I ask those
Just
who can
text Glenn.
afford.
I just text Glenn.
You said
Let's
it
see if you
again?
can get him on.
Say that again?
Come on, I just text Glenn.
Glenn
I
is on
just
right.
text Glenn.
Yeah, he's on.
Is he online?
Well, actually, I don't see
Does
Glenn,
he
but
not know that I was kicked off for using my First Amendment right to oppose what you are saying?
that is
Is
not
this
true
not
at all.
correct?
It's not true at
That
all.
is not correct.
I don't kick anybody off, and you can validate that with anybody. I just want to let that be clear. But since we're in fun
Andy
drive,
Weinking.
look, I don't kick anybody off. That's a rule on my for me personally, and if you notice, it applies. So that's not true at
No.
all, sir.
Hey,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Egberto, I'm
Yes.
the one that denies Brian access to you over his attitude and his hostility towards you, and it was the listeners and the donors that complained about him. So I was honoring them when I refused to put Brian on your program. It's on me.
I okay, no problem, buddy. But I mean, the thing about it is, he's attempting to mess with my integrity, and I don't do that. And anybody that listens to all our programs, whether it's on KPFT, whether it's online or anywhere, everybody, whether you oppose me or not, hell, Brian, we even met you in person. That's how far we go here, sir. All right, let's bring Sandy on to finish this up for our contribution. Folks, we need a few more calls. 713-526-5738. Come on in, Sandy.
Thank you, Egberto. We're a couple of $100 shy of our goal, and I just wanted to comment to Brian that we have addressed your complaint, and I don't think it will happen again, at least not in that fashion. I ask everybody, though, that comes on, just make sure you check your facts. This isn't a conspiracy channel. To conspiracy network here, this is nothing of the sort. And when you come on and you start spouting lies, I would expect a host to cut you off because there's enough of that in the universe anyway. Hitler said, if you're going to tell a lie, tell a big lie. And I think Donald Trump read the book because we all call it the big lie. And he's a big orange liar. And we're not going to have that. So check your facts. No one's going to cut you off. This is about a dialogue. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. And we really could use a couple of more calls to hear from you. So if you have the wherewithal on this Monday morning, we have about another 8 minutes before we're cutting over to Democracy Now! Let's start out Monday by making the first goal of the morning, which is a $500 goal. And again, we're just maybe a couple of $100 shy of that right now. 5 people have stepped up this morning, and we really appreciate it. And I think somebody was asking if we got that pledge, and the name was Jimmy, was it?
Jimmy, yeah.
Egberto?
Jimmy. Yes.
Yeah, I think we did. I did see that yesterday, or I did see that on Friday. So thank you very much for that. And everybody else that has not yet made a pledge, these other people that are calling, that you're hearing us thank, are making it possible for you to hear this program. It's just like a big potluck dinner. Don't bring a spork. You know, that plastic utensil that acts as a spoon and fork all together, and if it's sharp enough, a knife too, with those serrated spork edges. Don't bring a spork. Bring something for everybody to enjoy. And in this case, that's just a contribution. And you're going, wait a minute, how's that work? Well, when you do that, everybody can enjoy KPFT together. Together, folks, one community. So everyone with the wherewithal to do it, $5 a month. $5 a month. That $5 bill in your pocket won't go far when you leave the house and enter any place, any establishment to try to buy something. Even a cup of coffee in some cases, $5 isn't enough. Heck, I got an $8 loaf of bread the other day in the grocery store. You know, albeit gluten-free, but hey, man, I'm telling you, it's getting to be about those stories with the wheelbarrows to buy a loaf of bread in Germany before, in between the wars. You know, the inflation was so bad. But of course, we have the best economy ever. Just ask anybody orange. Back to you, Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. Ken, thank you so kindly for your contribution. Folks, we're still about a 175, 180 away. Give us a call, 713-526-5738. Please allow me to make my quota. Haven't made it yet, and I know you are going to do it with that rush that's going to come right here at the end. kpft.org. Joe said that sometimes it's down. I just checked it. It's up. kpft.org. Hit the donate button, followed by remember to select Politics and Right as a program you're supporting, so that Sandy does. You notice Sandy said earlier it may not be a better thought. He wasn't trying to say anything. I'm just flying around here. But but please give us a call 713-526-5738 extension number 1 to donate. Or go to kpft.org, hit that donate button, select Politics and Right as a program you're supporting. Anyway, folks, so the story I don't have the time to read it all in there, so I went ahead and typed it. I see another call coming in, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it to thank you, Mimi. Thank you so kindly. We're still a few away, folks. Another 150, and we will be there. We will be there. We will be there. We can do it. I want to pass it to Howard to see if he has anything to say, then Jack, and then we'll close this baby down.
Well, Igor here. Howard's up in his lair.
Okay.
But what I'm going to say is sustainer sponsors, listener sponsors that become sustainers are the lifeblood of KPFT. It allows us to budget. It allows a certain amount of money to come in every month that we can count on. And it is the backbone of KPFT. It's responsible for allowing us to drop a whole pledge drive in the summertime last year. And it only gets better, and it only takes a lot of people doing a little. A lot of people doing a little. I contribute. I'm a sustainer, and I also contribute. To most fund drives with a donation for a gift or a prize, and so I believe in KPFT, and I've always listened, and I will continue to listen, and I will continue to do what I need to do to defend KPFT. Okay, back to you, Egberto.
Thank you so kindly for that. Like I said, I want to thank Mimi out of Missouri City, Texas. I want to thank Ken out of Bel Air, Texas. John out of Covington, Georgia. Helen out of Sugarland, Texas. Joanne out of Santa Monica, California. And Johnny out of League City. We are about 150 short. Who wants to do that magic and close that out for me? Joanne says, I renewed my $5 a month too. Joanne, you are so wonderful. Thank you so much for that, sis. So, folks, we are at 7:03. We'll be shutting down in a second and going to democracy now. So, let me just say this. Uh, the mainstream media is under attack. The mainstream media is unable to do what they do. They're good reporters. You don't get me wrong. Ali Velshi, one of the best out there, but they can go so far. But you know who is only answerable to you? Those of us in independent media. But you know what else is famous for independent media? We do this on the cheap. We do this on the very, very cheap because, again, it's independent media. We depend on you. You are the one who are going to allow us to do the work that the mainstream media can't do. You are the one who are going to allow us to bring otherwise what they can't. We are the ones that are doing it, and those of us who have dedicated ourselves to do it, there's also one thing we've dedicated ourselves to do: to never ever get rich. You can't get rich doing this stuff. As you can see, we're here saying it's only by donations and contributions that we survive to do this. KPFT, a wonderful station, blown up 2 times by their transmitter by dynamite, by the KKK, and we're still here. we're still out here. We paid the actual price for being here telling the truth. It's no story. You can look it up and read about all the things, the tribulations that we've gone through as a station here in the South as we promoted that which was good. So I ask you to support us best you can. 713-526-5738, 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Let's see, Brother Sandy has a quick thing to say before I close this baby out.
Just thank you to you, Egberto, and Jack, and Howard, and all the volunteers that power KPFT. Remember, folks, as you go about your day, when you turn KPFT on and you hear those voices, these are people coming from our community that do this for the love of what they're doing. And as Egberto said, not to go save up the money to buy a place over in Hollywood or in River Oaks here in Houston. It ain't happening. So,
Not at
folks, from your heart, do the best you can. Thanks so much for all
Thank
you do,
you so
Egberto.
Thank you so kindly, Sandy. Folks, I got to get out of here. Love you all, and I mean all from the depths of my heart. You too, Brian. Anyway, let me tell you, you can go to politicsdoneright.com, or rather, politicsdoneright.com/newsletter is where the rest of the program is. You can email me, kpft@politicsdoneright.com, kpft@politicsdoneright.com. My name is Egberto Willis. This is Politics Done Right, and you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out!